Greetings. This is Skylar Saunders singing. What's current? Just got questions for you. Got a few questions. Do your chain hang low? Do it wobble to the flow? Do it shine in the light? Is it platinum? Is it gold? Could you throw it over your shoulder? If you're hot, it make you cold. Do your chain hang low? And that's all I'm gonna say because I'll get a copyright strike for saying the lyrics to Mr. Jibbs. I think his name is Devontae. He he had that song way back in 2006. That's my era. That was my graduating year. So if you know that song, you are ancient like me. You are very old. Okay. He had a one hit wonder. And then he had like a half a hit with I think Chameleon with King Kong. But we're gonna talk about this Soulja Boy case. The chain. Oh my, it's making its rounds. It went viral. The chain. He was performing on stage, and he was jumping around to the song, "Kiss You Through the Phone." You know that catchy little poppy song that he had. You know that's one of his best, I would say. Soulja Boy is definitely not a one hit wonder. He had more hits, but there's a difference. We're gonna break down the difference between relevant and a factor, and the difference between relevance and being a factor. So he was jumping around on stage, and he was getting his body moving and everything like that, and pop goes the chain. The chain falls off. The pendant falls to the ground. He just ignores it. He doesn't even pick it up. He just keeps going on with the set, which I would applaud him for doing that because you just keep going with the show because you wouldn't have time to keep going with anything else. Just keep going with the show. Just keep it moving, and the pendant and the chain later. So it got to NoJumper. NoJumper discusses it, and then he talks about it. That's why I'm talking about. It happened a few days ago. This isn't pressing news. This is just breaking news. This happened over the weekend, but I'm saying as part of his response. His response is the fact that he had a tennis chain along with Cuban chains, and it was under the Cuban chain link chains. I don't believe I'm even saying this, but it was under the Cuban link chains, and so the weight and him moving about could produce a tragedy on his neck where the chain just collapsed and tumbled down to the stage. And if you ask me, I mean it's just a shame. It's just sad because the real reason it's sad is because it's not fake jewelry. This is real jewelry. He has real jewels. Don't get it confused. Don't get it confused. People saying on the internet, in the comment section, "Oh, he got a fake chain. Oh, he had a fake chain. That's why it popped. That's why it broke." No, it was under the pressure of the other chains and his emotion on stage precipitated, using big words. It caused it to happen. It caused it to break up and break off and fall to the ground. So that's it. Quick reminder as I'm going to continue the story. I'm asking for 10s and 20s. 10s and 20s this whole period. I got $54.50 yesterday. I was off my goal by $25.50. I'm trying to get to $80 today. You can help me get there. You can contribute $10, $20 here and there. I don't know where you're going to be, but just let that be known. 10s and 20s. If you want to do 50s and 100s, that's your business. All I'm asking for are 10s and 20s. But back to the story. So Soulja Boy goes on his feed and explains to NoJumper, get off his D, you BAN. I'm trying not to use subversive or colorful language. Trying to keep it kosher. It's not for the kids, but still. And it's not even for the algorithm. It's just for my personal self. Trying to keep it together. Trying to keep it cool, clean. So Soulja Boy says, I was wearing tennis chains. The tennis chains are different than the Cuban links. Cuban links are strong. That's why they had the album called "Only Built for Cuban Links," because there's a very strong chain. It's almost like a dog chain. almost like they're very compact. There's very little space in between the link, the pieces of the metal, and it just makes sense that that occurred. And why is Soulja Boy doing shows and he's packing crowds? He's doing relatively well. He may not, fill up stadiums, or is it stadia? Oh. Anyway, he's not filling up stadiums, but he's doing his thing, trying to get his weight up so he can pay for his past debts. Because if you remember a few weeks ago, the judge in his case found that Soulja Boy's net worth was negative, zero, zilch, nothing, beyond zero. It was in the negative. So that's why he's even going out there doing these shows with his real jewelry and his real Lamborghinis and his real Ferraris. You really can't fake those. And it's $25,000 a month spending on his domicile. I labeled this whole video entertainment, because it's just pure entertainment. It's nothing serious, nothing heavy. It's completely light fluff. This is completely, puff journalism right here. I'm a proud, supporter of puff journalism. Just say stuff that's not even consequential. He broke his chain. Oh my God, and it goes viral across the whole internet. But this is the difference. This is what the difference is. People like Jibs, people like Rich Boy, they are neither relevant nor factors. Soulja Boy, relevant and a factor to an extent. Let me explain. He's a factor in the sense that he is able to create within his realm still mixtape after mixtape after mixtape after mixtape. I think he dropped some. Now it's DeAndre Way, which is pretty strong title. But he's trying to pay all this back. That's all he's doing. That's why he's out on the road. You'll see his show list. He's all over the country. He's probably going to be going all over the world because he's got to pay his debt. He's got to pay at least $200,000, I think. And that's what is going on in his life. He has to have that. He has to have that idea of him not being able to pay his financial debt. It was found that he has expenses to pay, including $472,000 judgment due to his current fiscal standing from his ex-girlfriend. That's how much it's over 200,000. I said 200,000, over 200,000. He had the motion to have the $472,000 judgment thrown out. But the civil case revealed that the rapper currently has little money in his bank account and $1 million USD dollar tax lien. The judge deemed Soulja Boy's net worth as negative due to a failure to provide his financial records to the court, though the court believes that the rapper is capable of generating income to deal with the debt. Close quote. So there you have it. The defendant they're saying that Soulja Boy is earning, but his lawyer, is saying that he has $18,000 in jewelry. There you go. That's your facts right there. $18,000 in jewelry. Okay, that's how much he has. He has $18,000. So that wouldn't be fake jewelry. That's real jewelry. The only thing is, it just collapsed under stress from him hopping around on the stage and being under all the other Cuban links. That's what happened. He took it upon himself to say, hey, I'm going to go out here. I'm not going to pick it up. I'm going to keep rapping, keep rhyming with this, keep flowing. And you got to respect that because he is relevant and a factor still. Going on 15 years, 16 years. That's amazing. 16 years in the game, and he's the leader. He's a pioneer. I respect Soulja Boy on that level, but I don't respect the fact that he has, so much debt. I can't. He shouldn't have that much debt. He should have invested more wisely. He should have put more money into stocks and bonds and paintings and other sculptures, objective art, and that would have accrued over the years and appreciated. But no, he didn't think of that. Because you know why? He has people in his ear like his lawyer. They're saying that he can't liquidate those Lambos and Raris, the Guineas and the Raris. He can't even liquidate them. He can't liquidate the chains because it's part of his lifestyle. It's part of the hip hop rap crap that we have to, that we're all chugging on, that we're all swallowing, that we're all drinking, that we have to have some kind of semblance of that he's a millionaire. Oh my God, he has all these chains on. Oh, he's driving around with Guineas and Land Rovers. Oh my God, it's amazing. No, not at all. He should liquidate those things. Say, look, I ain't got no chains on, y'all. I'm not driving around in the Maserati. I'm not driving around in the Bugatti. I just have, a Toyota Tercel. I have a Ford Taurus, and it's getting me from here at point A to point B like 98% of you moms. Like, that's all you gotta say. But he can't. Because his lawyers, letting him know he can't liquidate it. He's saying he can't. This is a quote. Quote, Soulja Boy's lawyer noted that the rapper cannot liquidate his assets as they are vital to his image as an entertainer. Quote, end quote. That's what the lawyer said. He didn't say my client is planning on, getting rid of the cars and the jewelry, and try to go to minimize to a different house and a dwelling situation. No, he said keep it up. And it's all for the world to see. And if I'm telling you, more people would know it. I know a lot of people know this. Has to know. It's all over the internet. It was over the internet weeks ago. This was when? This is July 30th. Almost 2 months ago. This came out in the world. I had a story on it as well. And it just goes to show you how Soulja Boy is still a major factor. He may not be as relevant in the music business. No, they're not playing the songs on the radio. They're not playing the songs, I guess in the videos, video stations. There are any video stations. What is it, BT Jams now? Something like that. They're not. He's not cutting out albums. He's cutting mixtapes. He still has a loyal following. He still has a bunch of subscribers on his YouTube. He still has billions of views on YouTube. But the thing is that it doesn't translate. His relevancy doesn't translate. He's a factor because people are still talking about him. If I'm talking about him, somebody else is definitely talking about him. So that's what the whole goal is to sort of understand why he did that, why he had that kind of mentality going onto the stage saying I might have the chain, but this thing with the chain. I bet he won't do it again. I bet it won't happen again. He's just gonna have either just the tennis chains or Cuban links. He might just have Cuban links for the rest of his career because those are the strongest. Well, I'm not sure. I don't know the full details, but I would imagine they're one of the strongest, chain links to ever be manufactured. Even though they may even break, because all depends on is the clasp. The clasp is what it is. That's what happened. The clasp gave out, and it gave him a problem. gave him an issue. So Soulja Boy, he's doing his thing. He's getting press. This is press. This is, no matter how you shape it, no matter how you look at it, it's press. And what press does is good press, bad press. I don't know if this is bad press. I don't know if it's really good press. It's just what it is. Just stating that his chain broke and then went to the floor. So he says he had on too many. It's as simple as that. So many people are talking, but especially Adam 22 on NoJumper. He's got that going. All these different things are going at the same time. He doesn't appear. That's the thing. He doesn't appear broke. He doesn't appear like his net worth is in negative. Doesn't appear that way. But it probably is. So he's just relying off of touring shows. He gets like $50,000 a show. But he's got to pay that $472,000 to his ex-girlfriend. That's got to happen. So he's focused on that. Did he do it on purpose to get more coverage? I doubt it. He was focused on, rapping to his fans, to his supporters. He was focused on making the best quality entertainment experience possible. That's what he was focused on. He was focused on the idea of creating and building and making and doing something that he loves to do, which is the rap. He's a producer. He's an artist. He's an actor. He's got accolades. He's a multi-hyphenated artist that is able to translate his rhyme skills into various other projects. So with the chain breaking, with it falling to the ground, like the leaves will be falling in a few weeks. On the East Coast, especially. I don't know about anywhere else, but especially on the East Coast. He will have achieved something that few have ever achieved. Longevity in the rap game. Like sincere longevity. I don't think people care about his music as much anymore. Like, that's why I say he may not be as relevant, but he's still a factor. He's still on the lips, he's still on the fingertips of people writing and blogging and vlogging like I'm doing right now. If he still has people talking his name after 15 years, 16 years since Crank That, since that, you gotta be kidding me. He's not a factor. He goes viral every few weeks. Something happens. Oh, his net worth is a negative. Oh, his chain broke. Oh, what's the next? He's gonna have his whole idea of making his whole thought process broken. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a travesty. It's gonna be a shame. He's gonna have his whole life like flash before him. He's not gonna be the same. He's gonna have his idealism, his whole mantra of being the number one. He said first rapper to get a iPhone, first rapper to get an iPad, first rapper to get his own game console. First rap, it just goes on and on with him. So he has that about him. He has that way of showing that he is still number one, literally. If he was the first to do all these different things, and it shows that he is still apparent on all these different lists, that he is still a rational human being, that he is someone that is still traveling and hitting the road and touring and going throughout all these states just to make it better for himself. And that's selfish and that's rational. And that's a good thing. That's what makes him moral because he's a productive being. He's somebody that makes something out of nothing. And there's like people I just talked about with Exhibit. He was saying how he's completely, out of touch with hip hop now because it's everything just sounds the same. Everything is the same. Well, you're hating just to hate, Mr. Exhibit, Mr. XZ, X to the Z. Soulja Boy is like the pioneer because he said, he's got on the internet, made his own beats, rapped his own lyrics, made his own songs, went super viral, had a song that was on the top of the charts for 7 weeks, and he just made a big splash. He made a huge splash. He was completely content with the idea of him making it in the world. He continued on to this point by making it suitable for him to be an ambassador for hip hop. And he even said himself, he said, all I had to do was take out my laptop. I just use that. I just use a microphone, put it all together, bam. And then what do you get? Hate from Ice-T. Hate saying, he's not a rapper, he's not a real artist. And that's the thing with Exhibit. He's saying like anybody with a computer or anybody with a laptop and a microphone can be an artist. I had to go to in front of people to get to be an artist. Like that doesn't make any sense. So what? This is a new age. It's a new era. Let these kids come up. Don't hate. Congratulate. Take the fact that these are kids, young kids that could be going out committing crimes, doing terrible, things in the world, but they chose to be creative. They chose to create something, chose to make something, and create money that Soulja Boy doesn't have apparently, but he did have money at one point, and it's still uncertain how much he actually has. Still not very clear how much he really has. So if you just pay attention to the news and see how much money he's going to come up on after this chain break fiasco, chain gate, I guess you can call it. Soldier's chain gate. His Watergate is his chain gate. You can definitely looking forward to that. You can look forward to him being on that level. Now, I have to take a break for Mr. Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube. That is the place to go. Yes, support that man. Make sure you go to his channel. Has great quiet storm, soul, jazz, R&B cuts that will, rejuvenate your soul, rejuvenate your spirit, let you know, you're in the good place with those sounds. So definitely check out Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube. I meant to say on YouTube. Make sure. Spirit Smooth. All right. So if you're in the live chat, if you're a viewer, I see one viewer. Go into the live chat. I'm looking for $10 or $20. You see my Cash App. You see my PayPal. Feel free to $20. I'm trying to get to my $80 goal. That's the goal for today. That's been the goal for the past few weeks because I'm doubling every time. If I get to $80, I'm definitely going up to 160. But whoever you are, I can see you. I see you. Peekaboo. I see you're definitely in the viewership. So whoever you are, make sure you chime in and donate. I'm looking for funds like the Rockefellers and the DuPont and all those, the Rothschilds, all the different the Carnegies, all the different foundations and different ideas that go on between collecting money. That's what I'm going to do. So I take it that we should continue with this broadcast with the idea that we all need money. Everybody needs money. The church needs money. There is no God, but goddamn, church needs money. Everybody needs money. Doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what you are. Everything there's not. You take for a moment and think. Damn. Does anything not need money? No. Everything requires money in a civilized society. Now, if you're on a stranded island somewhere, you may not have to pay for something. But if you're in a society with other people, the rational way of going about it is to trade value for value. That's all I'm going to say for that. Rick James is in the building. He is the only one so far. Salute. I know you can't do your money. I know you can't do the thing, but make sure you tell people like Billy Spleen to drop a few dollars, like $10 to $20. I'm asking for $10 and $20. Soulja Boy is amazing. He's definitely a factor. He's not really relevant anymore. He's not that relevant. His songs aren't played like that. People, like I said, I associate him with the Crank That, but he had, Pretty Boy swag. He had Hop Up Out the Bed, Turn My Swag On. He had hits. He has hits under him. It's not like he was a one-hit wonder. If you hear Soulja Boy on the radio, then that's good. I don't listen to the radio, so I can't really. I shouldn't maybe I shouldn't say he's not played on the radio, but I haven't heard him when I was in the kitchen listening to the radio at the VA at the VA. I was listening to it, and I had to take a moment and realize the fact that I don't hear Soulja Boy. I remember Jeremiah, Chris Brown, Nicki Minaj, a few other artists, but I didn't really hear a lot of Soulja Boy. But he is not that relevant because he hasn't had that much of an album out, putting out. He hasn't put out an album in over a decade. So it would appear to me that he is a factor but not relevant. That's how I think it is. And with this with this new idealism of Soulja Boy being on the stage and the chain getting broken, this could just light a fire. This could light a fire, get him more attention, and say, "Oh, okay, he's gonna come out with new jewelry, right? Or something like that." He's got the SODMG pendant. He's got that around his neck. He's got all the Cubans, and he got the Cuban links going on. And he may take off the Cuban links and just have the tennis, or just have the Cuban links and just have that. I don't know. We'll see. But he's probably not going to repeat this again. I don't think he's going to have this again. He may not wear a slave chain. That's what Mr. Troy Star Terrain calls them, slave chains. That's what happens when you're in an organization. I could go back to even go back to Rockefeller. 20 years ago, Kanye West was given his slave chain during they call it a chaining day in Chicago by Jay-Z. I don't know how long, I don't know what the exact date was, but it happened over 2 decades ago. I know that. And it just shows you how the pendant is so ingrained in the hip hop culture. I'm not even going to have enough time to talk about it, but it is a staple from the No Limit Soldier chain. Before that, the Death Row charm or pendant, or they call it the chain, but it's really the pendant. But you call it the pendant, the charm, the chain, and they go back and forth over all of that. And so you have so many different, You have the game chain, and people have the G unit spinning chain. It's spinning, nigga. It's spinning, nigga. It's spinning, nigga. It's spinning. They have the spinning G unit chain. I remember that. There's so many different pendants and chains that people have had over the years. The Jesus piece that Mr. Ye wore, the artist formerly known as Kanye West, had a white face and blue eyes. It had blue diamond eyes and the brown diamond hair and the white face. It's a classic. If you didn't know about that, now you know. So, Soulja Boy, all you gotta do, come back, bounce back from this, get that money. I don't want to stop nobody's bags. I don't want to stop a near person's bag. I'm not even into that at all. I'm into seeing people flourish and continue on with their lives. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I want to have, that appearance and have that knowledge that goes along with being in the limelight and being an entertainer. All right. Everybody knows what time it is. What time is it? RKA time. Ruler of the kingdom of the air. My story, my glory. I wrote this for you and me. Okay, Rick James is trolling a little bit over here. He's talking about the King Kongs of the air. Okay. He's got a little bit of troll spirit going on right now. But I definitely appreciate everybody that has read and shared and has been able to be very beneficial to me and my wallet, my pocketbook. I appreciate that. Thank you. And whoever else is in the room, besides Rick James, if you don't want to say anything, that's fine. But just give $10, $20 to my PayPal or my Cash App, and we'll be all right. We'll be okay. I'm looking at the Cash App right now. Yeah, put a one up. Put a thumb up. Put all that onto that. Put everything there where it needs to be. That's the story. The story is about identity, self-discovery, exploration, understanding. That's what it's about. That's what it breaks down to. And so you have, within the culture of the state of Delaware, which is all about making money. That's all the state is about. What do you go to Delaware for? You go there for school. Why do you go for school? To get a career. Why do you get a career? To make money. Why are you going to the beaches? To relax. But how do you relax at the beach? You had to make money to get a nice condo or a nice house near or on the beach in the first place. That's Delaware. Delaware is about money. It's all about money. That's why they say it's boring. That's why they say there's nothing to do here. There's no main attractions. It's all about making money. That's the whole point. And most people hate the idea of making money. They think of Monday mornings at a boring desk job, filing papers or going on their laptop and have to go through the whole rigmarole and then wait till Friday and then get all happy and get the sense that they're doing something, when in fact they're not. So the ruler of the kingdom of the air is truly a designation of various ideas. Oh, autocorrect. Okay. He says autocorrect. There's always some excuse. He wasn't trolling. It was autocorrect. Okay. All right. I'll take that. All right. But anyway, ruler of the kingdom of the air strikes me as a story that really punctuates and cuts through the ideal of what it means to be a person, what it means to be someone who you think, or you're not sure who is or what is. You have to discover it. You have to go on a mission to find what is true or not. That's the best way to put it. That's the only way to put it. If you have an idea of what you're supposed to do and what you're trying to do. That's what ruler of the kingdom of the air is for. Yes, Rick James has a good point. It's a story about one place, one life, one time. I always remind people of this. You have a oneness. You have one mind. You have one body. We're on, so far, one earth or one place of living. You know, and they haven't found another earth. But they're exploring ideas to explore Mars. So one day we might get there. But for now, we were born on this earth. Every human being under the sound of my voice and outside of my voice was born on this earth from a woman. Every single one of us. That's not even anything to play with. That's a fact. That's the truth. So, when you have in your mind the fact that so many people are deliberating over, whether something is real or not. That's the argument I want people to say. Oh, well, I read it, but it doesn't. I'm really confused. I'm befuddled. I'm puzzled, as one reviewer said in the comment section. Well written, but puzzling. I'll never forget that. That's one of my. I'll take that. I'll take that as a legitimate critique. We all know, of course, Rick James, that the egg became before the chicken. The egg had to come before the chicken. That's already scientifically proven. You can look that up. You look that up right now. The egg came before the chicken. Just in a different form, I think. But the egg definitely came before the chicken. But what this story is about, what it portends, is an idea of what it means to know something. It's epistemology, the science of knowledge. It's about knowing and being certain of that knowledge. And while people, critique and lie, I was just watching, Chucky 3. Well, not Chucky 3. It's Child's Play 3, and it reminded me of the difference between people what those dismiss and what's real in the context of the story, in the context of the film. It's not really Chucky 3. I meant to say Child's Play 3. Child's Play 3. Yeah, it's not Chucky 3 though, Rick James. It's Child's Play 3. But anyway, in the context of the story of in the film, everybody disbelieves that's a doll, and no kidding. And rational, everybody in the world knows that a doll can't come to life because it was it was transferred from a soul from another body through some voodoo ritual, that makes the clouds come up and everything like that. And he says, "Give me the power, I beg of you." After Limbella and all that. I don't even know what he says, but I was just watching that movie. And I was just thinking, this is like in the same vein as Ruler. This has qualities of Ruler, and I have different qualities as well from other movies, The Exorcist, The Omen, different things like that. Ade duel dumbala. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Rick James. That's what he says. And if you translate that, I think it says, I think may you please give me the soul or something like that. I'll look it up. It's so it says it's pretty long. But it starts out with Ade Due Dambella. Give me the power, I beg of you. Soso se etine me poi de mort. Mortes me le devuse de muvuche. Indidu por dubuse dambella. All right, so I'm gonna just give you that much. But that's how he rolls. It's pig Latin. It's some kind of Latin. But Yeah, it's definitely yeah, Chucky's gonna be a bro. Exactly. I remember him saying that. I just saw that part. He's gonna be a black kid. I don't know what the writers were thinking about with that one. The director with that, they were trying to have some kind of racial, statement there. I guess I don't know, but at least he got paid for his part. Young black man, young man. He's like 35 right now. He's like my age. He's like 36, 37 years old right now. The kid who played Tyler. But anyway, I digress. Ruler of the kingdom of the air channels those various stories of the incarnate, what many people call so-called evil incarnate. But the irony, it's all about ironic statements. It's all about irony. The evil incarnate brought us so many goods. The evil incarnate, either in the Garden of Eden or Prometheus, or so many different myths: the Christian mythology, the Greek mythology, the Roman mythology, Indian mythology, so many mythologies. They were punished somehow for doing something great. Prometheus, he brought fire to the humans. Oh, the gods didn't like that. Oh no, you can't bring fire to the humans. So what was his punishment? Hold on, I'm gonna look up Prometheus's punishment. Prometheus punishment. It says this quote: Prometheus was punished by Zeus because he stole fire to give back to mankind. He was chained to a rock in the Caucasus Mountains, and every day an eagle came and ate a part of his liver. Each night his liver would regrow, which meant he had to endure his punishment for eternity. I remember that, but I want to make sure. I thought it was, I don't know if it was an eagle or some other bird, but you see what happens? You see what happens to people like that? They're punished. They're punished. Lucifer, the light bearer, similar to my story. Maybe part of my story. We'll see. Read it. But he got banished and said, you're a snake and that a woman will trample upon you with her heel. And you have to go cast into a lake of fire. And there'll be weeping, moaning, and gnashing of teeth for anyone that goes there. Punishment for giving up work, for showing work, for sex, for enjoyment in life. That's the tree of knowledge afforded this person, this entity, this being. The tree of knowledge, epistemology. The tree of knowledge, the one that says what is what and who is who. What you can find, what facts are in reality, and that you can ascertain and know. All right, I got 3 people in here. 3 people in the live chat, including Rick James. About to have a hoedown. All right, show yourself third person. I know Rick James is in here, and make sure you put up that like, because I really am not even focused on this particular broadcast, because it's going up. I'm gonna say it's going up. But I appreciate anyone who's watching, of course. Keith, another broke bum. I say that in jest, sir. Thank you for your patronage. Salute, Keith. Yeah. You're a freeloader, like Rick James. You're both freeloaders. I made $54 yesterday, so it comes and it goes. It's either one way or the other way. I get a haul or nothing at all. Now we just need Marcellus and the whole game. Well, the whole game isn't necessarily here. We need Courtney, we need Chelsea. Don't forget about the ladies. Don't forget about the ladies. Definitely need them as well. Well, we got 3 people, but only 2 people are in the live chat. So that means One person is not even existing, and it's just a part of the YouTube algorithm, or they're just kind of shy. You can be shy as long as you give $10 to $20. We're fine. Hey, pause on that. Well, we got 4 people. We got 4 people. So 4 people in here. Letting you know right now, you can hit up my Cash App or my PayPal. I'm looking for $10 to $20 donations. Do what you can. I'll take anything, but mainly I want to take 10s and 20s. That's how we're going to get to this goal of $80. I want to get to this goal as soon as possible. Before Halloween, I want to get to past $80. I want to say that before Halloween. All right. Ruler of the Kingdom of the Air, RKA for short. This is a story that has levity to it, has bits of questioning to it, bits of despair, bits of ill knowledge. Okay, Rick James is, I think, quoting the Nightmare Before Christmas song. Greg S., that's who it is. So we got at least 3. Here we go. We got Keith, we got Rick James, and we got Greg S. All broke, bum, no contributing people. All of them. But I respect them anyway for coming through. Salute. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. Identify yourself, 4th person. Salute to the Brokies. That's right. I got my broke game. But I got 3 likes. And they're not going down. I didn't even know you could take away. I thought they got rid of the dislikes. They had the dislikes, but they won't show you how many dislikes you have. But you can get likes only or dislikes only. It can be brought on or taken away. All right. RKA, ruler of the Kingdom of the Air. This story lands on so many topics. It discusses racism. It discusses sexism. It discusses the occult, or things of Satanism or anything like that. And most people say, "Oh, that's demonic. That's demonic. I'm not gonna read that. That's demonic." Well, I'm sure you've seen The Omen. I'm sure you've seen The Exorcist. I'm sure you've seen, like I was saying earlier, Chucky in Child's Play, and the Child's Play franchises, and that Chucky universe. I guess you can call it that. Greg S is retracting messages, I should say. He wants to say something else besides giving me money. But that's all right. That's okay. That's all right. Do what you gotta do. So, if you really want to have a better understanding of where this story goes, wait on it. Wait till after September 27th. See what happens. I may do extra stories, extra chapters. This is the first chapter in a novel, supposedly, according to the challenge. They're challenging you to make the great American novel first chapter. What does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? What does it feel like? How can you understand it the most? RKA is the new generation Chucky, and he spells Chucky wrong. That's what Greg S said. I'm not sure to take that as a compliment or not, because he could just be trolling. He's one hell of a troll. That's true. So, taking into account the fact that all these different people are controlling, just this little life form, and not really expounding upon the fact that when he may grow up to be, or what he may become is something that is wholly different from anyone else. And I give them credit for that. I give the various stories I talked about earlier very much credit. Rick James says, "Call me crazy, but Ruler reminded me of a modern version of Pee Wee's Big Adventure, not in terms of plot, but in terms of story." You're hung up on Mr. Paul Rubens. Just admit it, sir. You're hung up on him. I don't know if you're out there like that, but you have an affinity towards Mr. Rubens' life before his demise. Hey, Greg S is definitely trolling. They're going back and forth now, I think. Rick James and Greg S. They're great. They're just trolling. Don't think of it anything else. Like I was reading through my notes one time. I was reading through the comments. And, the people were just saying, I'm just trolling. I thought it was a hard shot. I was like, dang, I took it, but I was like, hate harder, And they're like, I'm just trolling. And I could understand why they said that. I could see what they were talking about. All right, see now they're definitely going back and forth at each other. I got the live chat popping because they're trolling each other. And Rick James is going in. Rick James is going in balls deep. I'm not even gonna say pause. But no. RKA, Ruler of the Kingdom of the Air. I know it's a clumsy title if you use it wrong. It's like anything. It's like a car or ice skates or anything. You can be clumsy and fall on your face on the ice, or you can be graceful and elegant, or strong and powerful, like a hockey player. And or a car, you can run into a tree, or you can drive on a raceway and win. You have the option for that. So that's what the title is supposed to engender in you. It's okay, they're going really hard at each other. All right, Greg S is going at me now. Okay. I'm not even going to answer that question because your broke ass don't have no money for me to put into my Cash App or my PayPal account. You get your money up and I'll answer your question. That's for truth. That's the reality of that. I'll say something to that, Mr. Greg S. I salute you still. Thank you for making some views. More views are on the way, of course, kids. I know. We're missing the clams. We got a lot of sauces, not too many clams. It's very true, Rick James. But RKA, yeah. It has female characters. It's very strong. The grandmother, she's faith based. She's a lover of the Lord. You have the Gambina, the mother of the child, Ruler, and she's very strong willed. She's very I wouldn't say obstinate, but she's very passionate about her child and very loving towards her child, and doesn't want anything said cross against her child. She sticks up for herself, even in moments of where she even tears up. These are the main ideas behind all of this. This is the whole clue into what this means. This is the power that it conveys. This is the whole notion of creating something out of nothing. I'm the author. I've created something out of nothing. I've had audio recorded. I recorded it my own self, and I recorded Ralph Anthony Garcia of the United Ronin Network. He created something that was beyond what I expected. We've worked in the past, and it was very conventional. I would say he didn't have as much equipment, I think, at that time, but now He made it into a movie, like it was a audible movie. Like you can understand what the people are saying, and he hits every note perfectly. I'm not just saying that. No, Keith, you cannot ask me enough NFL question if you don't have at least $10 or $20 to put towards my PayPal or my Cash App. So I'm just answering Keith. He's asking me about something regarding sports, but I'm not going to get into all that because he's not putting up $10 or $20. You put up $10 or $20, we could talk. We can have some kind of discussion. Till then, nope. RKA is the topic of the moment right now. Anyway, ruler of the kingdom of the air. I just sent this out to people from my contact list, and I'm just so overwhelmed and so happy to know that they're going to read this again or read this for the first time, and tell a friend. That's the whole point. Share it. Share, share, share. It should be trade, trade, trade. You're trading a value for another value. That person's commitment and will to read, and your understanding of the text, you trade that. You're trading on that. Like it's like the stock exchange. Okay, Greg S., you're another brokey. You're asking a question. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rick James. Make sure she reads it tomorrow. Make sure she reads it tomorrow. It takes what? Hold on. I'm going to make 100% sure. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on just a moment. It's a 16-minute read. It'll take you 16 minutes. Have a sandwich, smoke a cigarette, do a vape, do a line, whatever you got to do, and then hunker down for 16 minutes, have a Dr. Pepper or something like that, or put it with some scotch or something, and then enjoy yourself. All right, they're going back and forth on each other in the live chat. I appreciate it, though, because I'm talking to them directly. And they know what I'm saying. They're under my sound of my voice. I'm not just literally talking to myself, but hint, hint, I won't be having too many problems with the likes and the views coming up. Because I got a little plan. Tuesday nights, if you notice, see what happens. If you just look at the track record of my videos for what happens on Wednesdays, you'll see. You'll see. All right, so let's not talk about Soulja Boy. We've already discussed Soulja Boy. I ran the chain into the ground. The chain is full of dirt and dust, and the diamonds are falling out of it. Another question, not answered. You have to design it for yourself. I have, I have the ability to cancel these people in this live chat, but I'm not going to do that because I want them to express themselves, express their hate, get that hatred off their chest, get it off their minds. See, that's what it does. You get built up hatred, and then it becomes evil. Hatred itself is not evil. Hatred is very beautiful. If you hate something and you don't let it consume you, it's like using fire. You don't get consumed by the fire, but you're using the fire. You use those flames. And that's what I'm probably going to continue on with RKA, ruler of the kingdom of the air. That's ruler of the kingdom of the air. And so, to wrap up, because it's about to be an hour now, I have to say thank you to all those people that I have, or under the sound of my voice, Keith, Greg, Rick, James, uh, anyone else, whoever that fourth person was, you can all donate. I know you're not, but I'm just saying you can. $10, $20 to my PayPal or my Cash App. I would sincerely appreciate it. And I will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.